Hello, I'm Katie DeRouge. This is an overview of our session and some practices for you to do. In terms of standing, we had you on your feet, really feeling into the feet, using a ball to roll over the feet, a rod to roll, pressing into the feet, and feeling your feet have very clear arches, a very nice lift. You can move your feet around a bit, push the heels out, pull the heels in, push them out, pull them in, getting all that movement through the leg, thigh and hip and lower back. So waking up the lower body. We then felt a lift of the instep, inhale, creating breath into that space of the QL, and exhale down. Just a sense of breathing into the area, letting it stretch and expand and open. And so this part here on the right side, just feeling it gets a bit more fullness and space. It moves back, it moves down, up, and it broadens in all directions. So feeling the breath goes into that area. And if it's a little movement of the arm, a little lift of the armpit, a little pressing down into the foot on that side, that's absolutely fine. If it's a bigger movement, great. We can also do a little lean. Now, in your own personal exploration, as we were looking at how do you create a sense of space there, something that you came up with just through your own reflection, your own feeling, was a forward lean and off to the side and away from it. So that was your natural movement to feel that area of the body awaken, lengthen, and have sensation and consciousness. And so please, let's do a few of those. Inhale, the shoulder might roll a little up and forward to lift away from the area. Exhale back. Inhale, forward and to the side. Exhale back. One more. And exhale back, inhale, reaching up and exhale over. You might also feel a slight lift through this front, inner groin, front of the pelvis, instep of the foot lifting on that right side. And exhaling down. We did a little crunching motion where we purposely took chin to chest and tuck the tail, and purposely sinking through the chest to create a roundness. So not upright, round, compress side to side. It's a nice way to warm up and get energy flow into the area. Another standing position that we did, we had 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, hands to hips, bend the knee, and just checking that the hips are square. And so the general rule is that the hip of the back leg moves forward and down, and the hip of the front leg moves up and back. So you're just doing this motion with the hips. Change sides, hands on hips. Again, just try that motion to square off the hips, not letting the back hip go back, but forward and down. Front hip, up and back. Pressing into the feet to get more purchase. And from there, we also did a little bit of opening with the left foot forward since we're opening the right side. And that little lift and stretch with the wide legs, strengthening the legs, keeping the pelvis square. And we can also look at doing a twist. And maybe a twist with a forward bend, knee bent, or leg straight. Just really getting strength into hips and spine. Coming up. Nice. So out of all of those, my favourite one was the one you came up with, which is to lean away from it and off to the side and forward. And to really relax and then come back, but not just let it kind of dump back down. Still feel as you breathe. There's a sense of space through the right side. And as you exhale, You can squeeze the left side. Inhale, space on the right side. Exhale, really squeeze the left side. Inhale, upward lift right up to the armpit, so everything's not dropped. Yeah. Lovely, let's just take an even breath in and out. Good. And coming onto the floor, so on the floor, make sure you have space, clean and comfortable. Widen the legs, stretch into child's pose, taking the breath into this side waist. You can walk the hands a little over to the left and take a few more breaths there. Really focusing on the inhalation, creating space and length. Inhale the hands back, come up to cat. Exhale, tuck the tail, chin to chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Push the heel of the hand towards the fingers to get a bit more openness. Inhale, lift, pull the shoulders back, pull the heel of the hand back to the knees to get more shortness in the waist. Once you've done that a few times, we're then going to kick the leg back, and remember not to let the hips move. So when you do it with the right side, you're quite stable and hips are quite square, but on the left side you want to really focus. Knee comes in, you can round the spine nose to knee, and then kick the leg back, and don't let this right hip begin to drop. Kick the leg back, press down into the knee, lift up with the groin. In and out. If it's too much, ball the foot to the floor and just little lifts, keeping the hips quite stable and steady. If you go too high, you'll start to collapse through that right side body. A few more kicks, keeping very attentive to what's happening in the right hip and lower back. And resting. Breathing into the space of the right side back and waist. Inhale, coming up, lying onto the back. So we have the arms wide, feet wide, knees going over to the left, face turns right, taking a few breaths. And go to the other side, just for a moment, and then come back up. And then we move the hips over to the right, extending the left leg to straight, right foot on top. And we came to the twist. You can stretch the right leg away and start working the hip back and down, and the sit bone towards opposite heel. So again, it's not coming up, it's moving away and creating length. Now, if you find this not very comfortable or enjoyable, please feel free to have knee to chest. A few breaths here, trying to work again the sit bone towards the opposite heel, creating a bit more length as the hip moves away from the waist, as opposed to hip coming up and getting rid of that space, hip away, more space. And then you can play with going to the side, pushing the hand into the knee quite actively. Just see how that feels. And then rest. Both knees bent, feet on the mat. Have a little stretch, a yawn. Feel into the body any way that you like. So we rolled onto the side, and you can have your left side underneath and your right side on top. So face whatever way you need to. We'll take the right hand underneath the left ear. The right knee will slide past the bottom knee, feet remain together, and then it will slide back in deep into the lower back with that thigh bone. Thigh bone slides knee away, thigh bone gathers deep into the back of the hip socket. And then opposite with the elbow, it lowers forward to the floor, and then elbow behind to turn face to look behind. Really feel heavy on the floor Try to keep contact with the earth or your arm or whatever's there so that you're not tensing the neck or jaw. You're very, very soft and relaxed. And we'll do 2 together. As your knee goes away, the elbow goes back. So it's knee forward, elbow back. And as the knee snuggles back, the elbow comes forward. This is kind of a stretch and an opening, but so is this for the back body. Remain heavy and relaxed. Feel the sensations you're feeling of the front of the spine stretching open, and then the back spine being able to open. So the little bit of tummy tension here, drawing navel to spine, flattening the belly, tucking the tail. And the opposite here, stretching the belly open. Last one, heavy head, relaxed, just enjoying. And then release. So I encourage you to use a rolled up blanket for this, and all it's going to be is a support underneath the left side body to help open up the top side, which will be your right side. So stay lying on the left hand side, have a nice rolled up blanket. If it's not too much, and if you happen to own one, or when you come in for therapy with me, you can use a bolster. They can be a little bit big, but you know, it depends on how you feel. That goes just under the waist, between the ribs and the hip bone. And what we'll do is we'll keep the left knee bent, extend the right leg, and start to lie down, making sure it's comfortable. The top arm might come overhead as well, so you're getting as much length as possible on this right side, and then literally close your eyes and just simply rest. Make sure you are super comfortable. You can turn off the lights so the nervous system quietens and you relax more. Feel heavy on the floor. So for me, I wouldn't mind a couple of blankets underneath for softness, so I can really rest the weight of my hip and shoulder into the floor more comfortably. Okay. You might rest the back of the arm across the back of the kidneys, encouraging more sensation into the area. As you focus now on the feeling that the inhalation has all the time in the world, and that it moves to create fullness on your right hand side. Openness and expanse, the hip away, ribs, space and fullness into the back. And really don't rush it, like really think of this as just luscious, quiet time to rest deeply. Really enjoy the weight of the body melting into the floor. Maybe you've created a nice environment for yourself. Incense, candles. It's perfect time to really deeply relax. As you bring consciousness and breath into the area around the right waist, lower back. You might even, like me, just give it a little rub, a bit of love. But definitely a strong, long in-breath to help awaken the area. And slowly release, making your way slowly up to sitting. So use any supports that feel comfortable for you. And the final thing that we talked about was also the front belly as a support as you draw navel to spine on the exhale, feeling how that really supports the lower back. Inhale, belly full and relaxed. Exhale, draw navel to spine. So let's just do a few of those. Make sure you are comfortable in your seated posture. I noticed you're happy sitting on the floor. Hands can be to the knees. Inhale, belly relaxes forward into the lap. Exhale, flatten the lower abdominal area, drawing inward and slightly upward. Inhale, relax. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, relax. Exhale, flatten. Inhale, relax. Exhale, flatten. I think that's enough for you for each day, doing each of those things. Enjoy your practice, make it fun. Anything new you discover, go ahead and try it. And you can always come and see me anytime I'm here.